Interesting what he does now with Raskin, though, isn't it?
Just what I was going to ask you. Aye.
I mean, I said to you after the kind of Russell Martin's machine gunning of his dressing room after Motherwell, I wondered if Raskin was perhaps one of the players he was referring to when he talked about dropping your ego. I have to say that was an enormous decision from Russell Martin to leave Raskin out of that midfield tonight. And I think you've got to congratulate the manager for making the decision, but also Lyle Cameron for his contribution in the middle of the pitch. I thought he was terrific.
Yeah.
Covered every blade. In fact, it didn't seem to me as if he was as tied down to that sort of left-sided role as Raskin has been. He was able to get about the pitch more. There's one point he turns up at almost right wing in the second half, cracking the ball into the box.
No, he was everywhere.
So you wonder if there's a miscommunication or somebody's not kind of quite understanding what Russell Martin's trying to implement. Maybe that was part of the problem with Raskin. I don't know. What I would say is that in terms of what they've got in their midfield area, Raskin continues to be, for me, the leading light in there. I think he's a real talent. And I think, and again, maybe credit to Russell Martin, I think when he came off the bench tonight, he looked, really in the mood to get on the ball, to dictate and to show people, look, I can play in this system and I can play in Joe Rothwell's position as well. Mm-hmm. So that'll be interesting. Raskin at his best is a really big player for Rangers. So that was a big, brave decision by Russell Martin. Clearly, something's not been quite right between the pair. But when Raskin came onto the pitch, he didn't look in a mood. The rattle wasn't out the pram. He was determined to play his part, even if it was from the bench. And I thought he looked really sharp when he came on the pitch, actually.
You can see there in the comments, Blair Mulgrew says Lyle Cameron was so efficient. He was brilliant. Blue Nose John says Lyle will be our new Scott Arfield. But a couple of people, Keith Luke, asking what does Keith think of the crazy, stupid booking for Raskin? And Tommy concurs, says Raskin's booking today was outrageous. I don't even know. I mean,
they
were saying on the commentary that it was dissent, and then apparently they thought it was maybe for interfering with someone taking a throw in. The clip I saw, he didn't do either.
He patted the guy on the shoulder. I've never seen that become a booking in my life, and I have no idea why that resulted in a yellow card. Not at all.
Me neither. Blair also makes the prediction that it'll be Raskin and Rothwell will be both pivots, the two number sixes against Celtic. Scott says Raskin is a different type of six than Rothwell. Rothwell's not yet fully fit. It does we've talked a lot about Raskin, Keith, over the last couple of months. He's obviously, he's now into the second last year of his deal. I know we talked, you'd said maybe about him hanging on for another year, doing well potentially in a World Cup for Belgium. But he seems in a kind of uncertain spot now.
It's a difficult one. And if there is a problem between Raskin and Russell Martin, then it might be a little bit trickier than originally anticipated to stick a contract in front of him and get to extend, even if you're prepared to give him a significant pay bump. Mm-hmm. Because if he doesn't feel happy or wanted or trusted as part of Russell Martin's kind of key group of leaders, he may well feel that now might be the best time to look at something else. I think from a Rangers perspective, they need as much quality as they can get their hands on, and Raskin's quality for me. So I would still be trying to sit him down, put a contract offer in front of him. As I said earlier, previously, if that's got a release clause, which is triggered at a certain price in a year's time or 18 months or whenever that may be, then he's got the comfort of knowing if that number is matched and he wants to move on, he can go. But I feel at this point it would be a mistake to rush him off the premises. And I would hope from Russell Martin's point of view that the two of them, if there is an issue there, that they can resolve it, because I think Russell Martin would benefit from having Nico Raskin as part of his options in midfield and a central part of that.
And Blue Nose John says, he hints that are the club holding on to Raskin until after the qualifiers. I mean, it's a good point. If they are contemplating potentially selling a big player, surely you hold on to him, for the next couple of ties.
Yeah, probably. And there's probably more than Nico Raskin that comes into that category, if indeed that's where he is just now. You've got Egerman, you've got Dessers, you've got unanswered questions around these players. Egerman, the suspicion would always be, is this a tools down job from him?
Feels a wee bit like that, doesn't it, from the outside?
Well,
Is that harsh?
I because you've spent so long doing this job, you kind of see red flags sometimes where there aren't any. And I remember thinking when Egerman had an issue with his paperwork to come back to the country after the summer holidays and he was late coming back, that's usually the first sign of a red flag. And now he's not fit to go to his work. I don't know. It could well be there's a bit of agitating going on behind the scenes there. But I'm speculating on that. However, we do know there are 3 or 4, 5 maybe clubs that are really interested in him. But you're right, if you're from a Rangers perspective, unless you've got a striker ready to come in and take up a place either on the bench or in the starting 11 for these European ties, I don't think you can contemplate it.